Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call?
Takoy Dublin. Shaylin Dunn.
Here.
Brianna Gardner.
Here.
Nadia Hamilton.
Here.
Ronnie Johnson.
Here.
Devin Stanley. And Joshua Stubbs.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Welcome to the June 26, 2024 meeting of the Daytona Beach Youth Advisory Board. We are happy to have you all with us tonight. At this time, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Ronnie Johnson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chair, sorry I'm late.
It's okay. We will now move on to item number 3, presentations. Madam Clerk, please introduce the presentations.
Okay. Our first presentation this evening is Derek C. Fieger, the City Manager of the City of Daytona Beach.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board, City Clerk, City Attorney. It is my pleasure to be the first presentation to talk about the City of Daytona Beach and what we have to offer. Honor that you serve in these capacities to bring transformative information to our area. As the City Clerk said, I am the City Manager for the City of Daytona Beach, acting as the Chief Administrative Officer, responsible for 980 employees, a $333 million budget, 82,000 residents, and 44,000 college students. City of Daytona Beach has 6 colleges and universities that make up our community: Bethune-Cookman University, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Daytona State College, Kaiser University, the University of Central Florida, UCF graduate programs, and the Florida State School of Medicine. That's how you get up to 44,000 college students. This is the only community probably in our area where you can go from a pre-K to a PhD or an MD within 3 miles of each other. I have the opportunity to work with those 980 to 1,000 employees about transforming the very fabric of our community, from the beach side to Midtown, from the west side by the Tomoka Town Center and the outlets, out to where the municipal stadium is in LPGA. So I've been doing this job for about 21 years. That's been my lifelong service. I've been here in Daytona Beach 3.5 years working with people like Mr. Willis, who you'll hear from. But I started in government. I graduated from Bethune-Cookman College. At the time, it was not a university. As a political science student, knowing that I wanted to be in local government, wanting to come back to Daytona Beach and serve in the highest role as an appointed official for the government. And so I had the opportunity to serve on a youth council as well in Winter Haven when I was in high school. Serving, our position was called the youth mayor. So, Mr. Chair, we both had the same role of trying to lead. We really didn't get any money or anything about that, but we did get the opportunity to serve. And so having this role, I think it's very important to do this, because it will help you find your niche with what you want to do and providing information to us. Hopefully through this youth board, you guys will gain insight about the City of Daytona Beach, but also give us information. What will make you want to stay here? What do you like here in this area? What do we need to add to this area, and help our elected officials, the mayor and the city commissioners, to do their job? But this is the only real job that I wanted to have. I want to retire doing government, but also transforming the very fabric of our communities. I'm working with individuals as your board attorney and as the city clerk. And so I'm glad that you all are here. If my office can ever be of assistance to you all, contact the city clerk. If you have questions that when you have your board meetings you want us to engage in and dialogue about information, I will be more than happy to come back to the board because you provide a valuable service to the citizens of Daytona Beach, really your age demographic, about what we need and how we can improve our community. So if there are any questions that you have of me, you can ask those questions at this time, or I can go back to my office.
What made you want to join the board, the Youth Advisory Board, where you were from?
Well, I was actually directed to come to your meeting by the city clerk. So I think it's important to be part of this group because you all are the future of our community, that this is important, that we need to have insight. We get a lot of individuals, I'll say, that are retired, that come to our meetings or have interaction with city staff members. But having insight and information from you all will help us to design a community and create a community that's great. A lot of things come through our office, from the basics of signing off for licensing, permitting and licensing for a Burger King, a Chick-fil-A, what's the new restaurant that's coming up on?
Canes.
Canes. Oh, you must like Canes. You've had them before?
Yeah, I had them in West Palm Beach.
So they're pretty good?
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Hold on, you recording now. You may have to do a commercial. So I can't say if they're good. I'm glad they're here. But so from approving a Cane's restaurant to also a brand new hotel on Beachside, all of that stuff comes through our area. You'll hear from Mr. Willis later about all of the events that take place, from the concerts, from the parks that are being built, like the Daisy Stockings Park, to Municipal Stadium. All of those things come through his office, or David Waller, who's in our public works. So those things come through my office in regards to signing off on, for even people to have the scooters on the sidewalks. We have laws that, people don't want us to have bicycles or scooters riding on sidewalks because we have liability issues. That's why we have a city attorney. But all of those things come through my office as well to evaluate should we have them. So whenever there's new rules that come in, I have a scooter. It's problematic for me. I have a scooter, I have a unicycle, and I have an electric bike. I'm the city manager, but I cannot ride them in downtown Daytona Beach because it's against the rule. Letitia seen me riding my bicycle in a suit. She was confused because I will ride to work like that. I think multimodal is good for us, so I believe in scooters, the bicycles, walking. But in Daytona Beach, I can't ride them everywhere I want to because we have rules. So all of that stuff does come through my office, and I have to abide by, from just, like I say, starting a Cane's restaurant to a major hotel or a house being built. All of those things come through my office. This is good. I wish our commission meetings were like this. Y'all should all run for office. So if that's all, Mr. Chair, am I free to leave?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for serving.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, our next presentation is by Keith Willis, our Parks and Recreation Director.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Keith Willis, Parks and Recreation Director. I'm going to first tell you a little bit about myself. I'm born and raised in Daytona Beach. When I was in 10th grade at Seabreeze High School, we got an announcement over the intercom saying if you were interested in getting an after-school job, please come by the council and fill out an application, and they'll send us to do the work. So that was back in 1985. I started at 10th grade at Seabreeze High School. Go sand crabs. So I've been here for, I want to say 37 years with the city. So I actually went to school to be an engineer, but I kept coming back every summer. And how it worked was I was a student worker while I was in high school and played basketball. You could only work 10 hours a week. Once we did 10-hour week, if you did a great job during the school year, they would automatically put you on for 40 hours during the summer. So I was like, okay, I think this might be something good. I don't have to worry about a job. I had money to go back to college, and I stayed with it. And I've seen, I think, 3 mayors, about 4 mayors, 3 city managers. I don't know how many commissioners since I've been here. It's been a slew of them. And so my role is I'm in charge of 32 parks for the city of Daytona Beach, 5 community centers, 2 aquatic centers, the stadium. I have, at this point now, since summer started, I have 81 employees that I oversee. We also put on the Easter Beach Run, which is over close to 1,000 runners. We put on the Midtown Motown concert in the park at Daisy Stocking Park. We right now we have 5 summer camp programs going on. So my job is to make sure those kids can get to those field trips, get to those swimming, and get back safe, because I cannot stand in front of a mom or dad saying, hey, we left your child or your child got drowned or whatever. So we take it very serious when we do the actual interviews to get the students to work. Last summer was one of our worst summers that we had. We tried to hire a lot of high school students, but it didn't work. It was more work. Not cutting you guys down, but y'all generation is totally different than when we were growing up. You can't put the phone down. And a lot of the students were watching, had the phones, they would put them between their laps or on the floor, and they're not watching the kids. So we had to actually up the age this year to try to get some like 18 and up. We did go as low as 16 to help supervise the kids. So my job is very important because I have to make sure we bring those kids back from these field trips. And their major field trip is SeaWorld, and you're taking almost 450 kids, and you have to make sure they're back from Orlando, and they stay pretty much all day. They leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they return back around 9 o'clock at night. And we stay that long so we don't have to sit in traffic at 5 o'clock, so we don't board the bus until 6, and we take them to get dinner, and then we head back to Daytona. So we try to tell the parents that's going to be a long week for back to school. We also put on backpack giveaways, but we don't do it anymore. We did last year through Pay It Forward. We kind of collaborated with them to do the grand opening of Dickerson Center. So if you guys are from this area, the Midtown area, you would know the difference of how Dickerson Center used to look and how Dickerson Center is now. How the past, Ronnie, you look familiar. How the PAL Center used to be into the Cherry Center now. So me growing up as a little kid in those older facilities and now to be running the new facility, it's just a feeling I can't explain to you guys. I guess it's like riding a motorcycle or whatever, but it's just a great feeling to see the kids that are coming up now to have something that's new, fresh, and when you go out of town, hey, we're there too. So that's my job, is to make the parks and keep the parks clean, looking good, make sure they have playgrounds, the swings are updated. We have a very tedious job, help with our Parks Department and Public Works. They take care of our equipment, and we have the staff, once they go out every day, they have to walk the park if it's connected to a community center and make sure there's no needles, condoms, glass, because the kids are going to come out that morning. So that's their job, to walk every morning just to make sure the parks are clean. Because as you guys know, we have a lot of homeless that's around, and they sleep in the park. Our parks are their hotels, their homes, and we bargain with some of them to get them to move. You can't be here till 5:30. Most of them, there's not an issue, but they do. Some of them give you some lip. The police has already been called, so we know who to call just to get somebody over there right away, because we don't want no issues. One thing I want to mention, when you go into our facilities, you have to have an ID. Once we collect your ID, we get a picture of it. So if there's anybody that come in that's a pedophile or molester or whatever, if their name, when it pops up and the computer turns red, it goes straight to the police department. We allow the person to come in, but we just have to keep an eye on them, and then the police will come and remove them. We cannot confront them and say, hey, you can't come in because of this reason. So we just allow them and just kind of keep an eye on them, watch them, and then the police will come and remove them. So we get some slack, well, I have to have my ID. But the good thing about it, once you show it once, you're in the system, and it's for all of our community centers. The 2 on the beach side and the 3 or 4 that's on this side. So we do everything to keep the community safe and our kids safe. Safety is that's first for us, keeping the community safe. And we go from 7:30 to 9 o'clock at night. So most people get off at 5. We close at 5:30 with the after school summer camp, and then after school, and then we go right into the community using the facilities. So the staff have to make sure it's clean, and we tell them when they get hired, hey, you have to clean some restrooms, mop some floors, because the maintenance staff is off. They come in at 5:30, and they clean the facility at the end of the day, and then we take over. So we have a big job, what I do. Xavier, could you start the video for them, please? I'm just gonna show you some of our stuff.
There's a lot that goes into serving the citizens of Daytona Beach. Staff members strive every day to deliver an experience that's worthy of being called world famous. Some work happens out in the communities where we live, while a lot happens behind the scenes. Spread across the city are staff members working hard to ensure that Daytona Beach is a great place to live, work, and play. Let's shed some light on what's happening to serve you and look behind the scenes to see what goes on inside Daytona Beach. This episode of Inside Daytona Beach focuses on the many city parks maintained by the Parks and Recreation Department. The city of Daytona Beach has more than 30 beautiful and well-maintained parks. With a diverse range of amenities and locations, all Daytona Beach residents can enjoy a city park that fits their lifestyle. Residents are encouraged to maintain a healthy and active lifestyle, and a park is a perfect place to enjoy being outdoors, exercise, or just connect to the natural beauty in our city. The city continually invests in its public spaces and is continually making improvements to all its parks. From our smaller passive parks to the larger, full-featured parks with a wide variety of activities and amenities, Daytona Beach truly has it all when it comes to parks and recreation. For the beachside communities, there are 7 parks to enjoy. Breakers Oceanfront Park is the jewel of the beachside parks. Located adjacent to the iconic Daytona Beach Pier, this 2.5-acre park is one of 3 parks that provide the public with direct ocean access. Other amenities include off-beach parking, ADA beach and pier access, sand volleyball court, multi-purpose field, walking paths, and an environmental learning center. Collins Park is a newly renovated beachside park located directly on the Halifax River. This 2-acre plus park boasts a boat dock providing river access to the community for boating and fishing, as well as a lighted fitness trail, covered gazebos with picnic areas, a playground for kids, and open green spaces to enjoy the beauty and breezes of the Intercoastal Waterway. Lenox Park and Playground is a multi-purpose space with fenced dog parks for both large and small dogs, a basketball court, playground, a lighted walking path, a covered pavilion with picnic tables, and a large open exercise field. The Schnebly Recreation Center has multiple outdoor spaces, including separate areas for tennis, basketball, shuffleboard, and volleyball. There's also a covered seating area and playground equipment for the kids. Over on the mainland, there are 20-plus additional parks of various types and sizes to enjoy. One of the larger waterfront parks is Halifax Harbor Marina and Park. This beautiful 60-acre facility is a working 550-slip marina that offers a host of amenities to boaters and is walking distance to downtown shops and restaurants. With multiple fishing piers, free boat ramps, walking paths, and beautiful water views, this outstanding park and marina is a great way to enjoy the Daytona Beach waterfront. Just up the street, we have another uniquely Daytona Beach space in City Island Park. Situated along the Intercoastal Waterway, this park is perfect for fishing or relaxing by the water. This riverfront area consists of a large recreational field which hosts many special events throughout the year, a beach volleyball court, a playground, picnic areas with grills, a boat dock, and onshore and offshore pavilions. Also located at City Island Park is the Halifax Rowing Association and Jackie Robinson Ballpark, which is widely recognized as one of the best ballparks in minor league baseball. Further inland, you will find the centrally located Tuscaloosa Park. This 30-acre park was created around a natural coastal hammock and is jam-packed with exciting family activities. Enjoy the natural beauty with a treetop aerial adventure course. Challenges include zip lines, ropes, wooden bridges, and nets, making this a great family fun activity. Also nestled in this beautiful natural Florida park is a playground, picnic areas, volleyball courts, horseshoe pits, and an 18-hole disc golf course. Another great park to experience is the Samuel Butts Youth Archaeological Park. This truly unique park was named for local archaeological hero Samuel L. Butts, who collected Indian pottery fragments, animal bones, and skeletal material from time periods as early as the Ice Age. Today, this nature preserve is a sanctuary for aquatic life and migratory birds. Other amenities include a fishing pier, gazebo, trails, and ample open space to enjoy. Great news for music lovers, as Daisy Stocking Park is undergoing a complete renovation. The amphitheater is staying, and the surrounding park will be transformed into an urban oasis, ready to host concerts, festivals, and other events for years to come. Daytona Beach has provided so many public spaces for the community to enjoy, it's hard to fit them all into one video. Along with many full-featured spaces talked about so far, there are many more well-utilized local spaces designed to serve specific needs of our community. Whether a quiet place for contemplation, an exercise trail, a basketball court for a pickup game, or a playground for the neighborhood kids, Daytona Beach knocks it out of the park when it comes to parks and recreation. Just like with our community centers, the city's parks are available for the public to reserve or to be rented through the Parks and Recreation Department. Simply call 386-671-8250 to reserve a date, or stop by City Hall in person and allow the Parks and Recreation staff to personally walk you through the application process. Once your application has been submitted with all the necessary supportive documents and payment, staff will work closely with you as your permit is reviewed. If approved, with final payment and site plan, you can begin to utilize one of the many Daytona Beach parks for your very own community or family event. This is another example of what goes on inside Daytona Beach when staff members work together to make the city's most valued commodities available for its public and to help make Daytona Beach truly world famous. From the community parks all over the city to the entire Parks and Recreation staff, this was a look inside Daytona Beach.
As you can see, we actually put on the Christmas parades. We actually rent all the facilities for birthday parties, funeral repasts, wedding receptions. We also rent all the outside spaces. So everything comes through my office. And believe it or not, we pretty much touch every department in the city, the Parks and Recreation Department. So we do have a big job, and we get a lot of in your face from the public. So it's not all easy, it's not all smooth and gravy. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave you guys with some Parks and Recreation booklets, but I'll make sure that we're in the process of getting a picture of Daisy Stockton, the new park, and then we're gonna come up with our new booklet for this year. And Letitia, I don't know if we could get them before they go back to school to our next Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting, which is the second Thursday, which will be in July.
Okay.
And it's usually at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're done at 10. So you guys can see what we do as we follow the city commissioner. They're appointed. So I would like them to see that if they could make that.
Okay. What I can do is I can send an invitation to them to
Yes.
attend the meeting.
And then we're going to also get you guys shirts so you guys will be uniformed when you have your meetings. Any questions for me?
Did you want to talk a little bit about the board, the park advisory?
So our advisory board, we meet the second Thursday of the month, and what we do, we go to each zones and we meet in their zone. So if one's on the beach side, zone 2 or whatever, we'll have the meeting at one of those community centers. We're just like you guys. We have 6 zone, 1 at large, myself, and we have my reception that takes the minutes. And the public comes in and give us their concerns, and then they take it back to the commissioners, their zone, and we try to fix the problem or get an answer for them. It's pretty much the same people that come to the commissioner meeting that come and they be rah-rah right out. And you guys gotta have thick skin to be in that position. And we just have to listen to them, and we've learned, we put the clock up for 3 minutes, and we shut them down. But we do exactly, and we follow exactly how the city commission does. We actually do the Pledge of Allegiance, we have prayer, and then we go into old business, new business, and we let the public speak, and then you guys will speak individually at the end if you have any concerns. So we follow exactly what you guys are doing. So, are there any questions for me?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys are responsible for switching the turf for the Jackie Robinson Park.
No, it's leased out to Jackie Robinson, the Tortugas. But they do provide sports equipment and uniforms for our youth baseball program.
Can I ask you about the jobs? You said this when you went to school that they offered you a job, right?
Yes.
Do you know that if they still do that for like schools now? Like
We don't put it out in the schools, but it's a word of mouth. Everybody know when it's time for summer, you get a lot of the phone calls. And I think we put it out in the paper that, hey, we're looking for summer workers, lifeguards. So this year we've hired 24 summer workers and 10 lifeguards to help us get through the summer. And we were able to pay them $15 an hour, 40 hours a week, and they get paid every Friday. Yeah. And we have a lot of kids, and I do get out of the office to make sure, I have supervisors to make sure everything's running smooth. I just pop my head in. And before I go, I went today with the city manager, and we spoke to, we have this new aviation program held at the Cherry Center. It's about 15 students in there. And what was interesting today was we had 3 pilots that came. They flew in from Maryland, and they flew into the Daytona Beach Airport, the airport behind Bevel Road. They flew in there, and the grandfather was 70, and his grandkids are pilots. They flew him in their own plane, and they said, we'll leave in an hour, go back and fly out. But they spoke to the kids and saying, that they kind of inherited from their grandfather being a pilot, and they wanted to get into it. But a lot of the kids never even heard of it. So this program, I think, is going to expand, and we're going to try to do what we can to help raise money to keep this program going. And they're there from 8 to 5 o'clock, and they're busy all day. They just came back from New Smyrna Airport and the Daytona Beach Airport. And we have 2 flight simulators that are inside the facilities, and they work on them. It looks just like they're flying a real airplane. And so we, at the Parks and Recreation Department, we do a lot. We touch a lot of people in the community, and that's our job to help. And Parks and Rec starts after 5, not before. So we have the nights and weekends. We put on the festivals. We do it all. So that's it for me. Any more questions?
No.
Yes.
You will keep records on all of the students that work for you all during the summer?
Yes. Because each supervisor gives a report if we want those kids back or if we don't want them back, how they did. If they did a great job, some of them are able to stay on to work in the evenings after school. So we'll have a report on each and every one of the kids. Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Okay. So I'm going to move on to a few matters for consideration that we have. And Mr. Willis talked about the Youth Advisory Board member shirts. So I'm going to send out an email, and I'll send out an email when I send out the invitation to you guys to attend the Parks and Recreation Board meeting. That looks like it's July 11th at 9 a.m. To get your T-shirts, or I think they're polo shirts polo shirt sizes. So I will send that out to you guys, and then you can just email me individually.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the second thing on our agenda tonight is the Florida League of Cities is having its first Youth Council Summit. And I wanted to give you guys a heads up because it's not until October, but it's a Saturday in October, and I know you guys will be starting back to school then, and you may have other activities, so it might be something you just need to plan for. It'll be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in DeLand, and so we will provide transportation for that as well. And we will also, the registration opens in July, so that's why I want to give you guys a heads up. I'm going to go ahead and register, and then if anybody can't come, just let me know. And I'll keep reminding you guys throughout the year as we get closer in October that we have the summit coming up. But this way you can let your parents and guardians know that this is something that's going to come forward in October on a Saturday. And, oh, I'm sorry, one more thing, Mr. Chair. I just put this little article I had found, I put it in your package, just 5 reasons why you might love working in local government. And this particular writer happens to be from New York, but it still applies to working in local government. Sure.
We will now take comments from the public.
Is there any member of the public that would like to address the board? I have no speakers, Mr. Chair.
There being no other discussion, this meeting is adjourned.